All right, what's going on, guys? My name is Tyler Austin, and in this video, hey, I'm going to show you how to get into real estate investing or get into sourcing your own deals for flips, or if you want to do it for wholesaling, whatever. I'm going to show you how to create a quick system if you're just getting started, or even if you're doing deals and you want to add a system into your business that costs less than $150 a month. And I think it's somewhere around initial startup of like $350, but that includes the first month. And I'll drag that over and show you on the screen here in a second. But before we get started, make sure you go over to the No Excuses Real Estate Investing Facebook group. Make sure you click join. It's my group. It's fun. There's sometimes people that ask questions, and there's sometimes people that answer it. But the more people we have in there, the more people we can help and we can nurture together to honestly have no excuses on why you cannot achieve, what you want to achieve in life, whether it be in your family, in real estate investing, and in prosperity in general, right? So that's what I'm about. So hopefully this video will help you get there. Okay, that's just really honestly my goal is to just help out as much as I can. And you know what? Hopefully I do, and hopefully you get value from it. I don't know. Just rambling at this point. Let's go ahead and let's mention the few tools or apps to get started, okay? So let me go ahead. Someone mentioned me in a comment. Where's the monthly fee coming from? Don't they just get a CRM ready? Okay, I'll answer that in a minute. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this stuff down real quick, and I'll bring that up in a second. All right, please stay to the end of this video. Of course, that's where you're going to get the most value if you stay on the video until the end of it when I bring everything together. But this is the sheet, right? This is the little notepad, I just kind of typed up to add everything together. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. All right, so your initial list purchase, you'll use yellow letters HQ for $97. You can pay for 1 month or continually to get 3 cents per record on listsource. Now, one of the biggest things that's always said is, oh, listsource, that's where everybody buys data from. Why would I buy data from listsource? Listen, you're going to buy equity data. I don't care where you're buying your data from. Equity data is equity data. Oh, everybody's marketing to that. If you're relying on equity data to do all your marketing, you're doing it wrong to begin with. Okay, I don't know why I keep reading the list from this screen instead of this screen. It's over here. So if I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the list. It's equity data. I call that qualifier data, right? All that means is that they're qualified to be a deal. You know what I mean? They have equity. It's no different than someone coming in for a job interview having a master's degree versus the requirement being a master's degree. The bachelor's degree or having a master's degree and the requirement is a bachelor's degree. They qualify because they have a bachelor's degree, but having like a master's degree is a bit of an amplifier. So amplifiers to me are like tax delinquents and any list that's a vexation. And then qualifier data is just like, equity, right? It makes it easier for the deal to happen. And that all revolves into my 3V motivated seller framework, which maybe I'll do a video on. Basically, that's the 3 V's of a motivated seller: the value, vexation, and viability. If a seller has those 3 things, they're somebody who you could probably work with in an effective way, right? So it's about building a business based off of focusing on those people that fit within those 3 V's, but then also having your larger marketing campaigns to kind of cover everybody else, right? That's what us that have kind of like growing businesses that are sustained and continually, it's what we rely on. It's a business that we've built and we have employees. That's what we do, right? But for people just getting started, or for people that are just focusing on that wide approach, this is the type of system you want to put in place. That's a nice, really cost-effective system that you can really add a lot of revenue to your business doing it. And it's a really great low-income way to get into real estate with a very solid foundation and an awesome pipeline. So again, buying that qualifier data for cheap. You only really need to get it every 6 to 12 months. You don't have to worry about it from that. Okay, you can buy your whole absentee list for your whole county, and we'll go into that. But apparently this goes to close my door back there. But for $97, you can have it for a month, 3 cents per record. That's 2,500 records is about $75. The reason I said 2,500 is because I get about 19,000 people in the biggest county that I'm in on an absentee list. Granted, I'm in smaller counties in Northwest Florida. If you're in Dallas or something like that, your absentee list is going to be bonkers. But anyway, after 19,000, after I put my criteria in what qualifies to me to be an equity deal, it ends up being about $75. And as you grow, you might expand it out. Maybe you only focus on 20% equity rather than 40% equity because you want to capitalize on that algorithm, variancy, right? Because it's not 100%. They might say they have 20% equity, but they might really have 50. But I pull 40% equity in my list because we're really narrowing down on those people that definitely have equity. However, as we expand out and we want to bring in more data, we have the ability to add another 10%, 10%, 10%, and pull up to 20% equity only. Whatever you want to do. But initially, buy whatever data you can. I highly recommend just buying a straight absentee list, and I'll show you how to pull that list in this video as well. So this is going to be a little bit longer of a video, but I promise you it's going to be worth it, okay? All right, so Yellow Letters HQ, so that puts us at right around, I don't know, like 130 bucks, okay, just to get our data. You can go ahead and cancel the Yellow Letters HQ afterwards or whatever, or keep it, so you can buy more data. If you follow this system, and I promise you, if you follow this system, and you actually put the effort in that you should be putting in, within a month, you should have a deal at least under contract, or sooner than that. People that I've taught this system, and they've had contracts in quickly as 3 days, because you can spin up and focus and target people like just super fast that are motivated. Okay, monthly subscriptions after you have that initial cost right there, right? Monthly subscriptions, REISift. Disclaimer, that is my web app, but I promise you I would not have it on here if I truly did not think that it was valuable to you. It's literally how I built my business. There's users that make upwards to 4 million a year, and there's users that are just now beginning that are on that web application. And I'm going to show you how to use it in order to generate organization as well as revenue in your business. CallRail, I think you should definitely have CallRail. And then optional, but highly recommended, is DealMachine, because what I'm going to be showing you here is the ability to buy one list, right? But then internally create like 4 different lists from that one list that have highly motivated people in it. Okay. And then all you have to do is grab maybe 2 or 3 more manual lists, like a tax delinquent list and a couple others from your county, put in a little bit of manual effort cleaning those up, get those uploaded into REISift, and now boom, you've just generated a whole nother 2 lists. So you're gonna be like 6 different awesome marketing lists that you can have, and you can create an awesome marketing campaign around it, starting with the cheapest marketing first and the most expensive marketing last, so that you can really make your marketing dollars go a long way. But we're gonna show you the manual way to do it first, and then later on, if you wanna add in a dialer like Call Tools, by all means, I think that's great. But initially, our total time invested is going to be hustling our ass off, okay? Because we're on a budget here, all right? And we have no excuses. Remember, like at my Facebook group, we have no excuses why we can't make this shit happen, all right? So you're going to want those 3 apps. I'm going to show those websites here in a second. Now, as far as costs associated, like REISift vacant list, $0. When you upload data, you're getting vacancy, actually 2 different vacancy lists at one time, as well as cleaning up your data and a bunch of other really important things that revolve around this. However, I'm not going to sell you guys on REISift. I don't have to. I know what it can do. But if you have any questions about more of what it can do, feel free to obviously ask me. But I'm going to show you guys. It's freaking pretty dope, okay? Okay, so total list purchase, $172. Total for your first month to get started in real estate, $322. My first month, because I didn't have anybody to talk to or learn from or anything like that, I spent 10 grand. Yeah, 10 grand. $322. That does not include skip tracing, but we don't need it right now. I'm going to show you guys how to do this without having to skip trace anything right away, and who to focus on to get those yeses or nos. In addition to that, we have our total startup cost being under $350. Absolutely insane. Monthly cost thereafter, $150. Our goal would be to get our first contract in that first month. Totally doable as long as you put in the effort. Please understand, as long as you put in the effort. Okay. Total time invested, like I said, we're going to hustle our ass off. Additional options, if your budget can handle it, another $120 a month in a dialer would definitely speed us up. And then if you were to skip trace all 2,500 records, if you really wanted to skip trace all those and hop on that dialer because you had, let's just say you had $1,000 to spend, right? How do we make that $1,000 go the longest way? Okay, well right now, if I want to like at least have 90 days of budget, you know, I'm only going to be able to afford my initial $350 and then $750, so I'd have enough money for $150 a month, $750, so I'd be good for like 6 months. So I can hustle my ass off for 6 months and get a deal, and I promise you it's possible. I promise you. Within my first 6 months, I was actually within my first 3 months, I was multiple six figures. Like, it is totally doable as long as you put your effort in, okay? So, you know, you could technically afford the $400, if you have $1,000 to spend, if you do, you could spend $450 to skip trace all 2,500 of these records with good numbers and be really rocking and rolling at that point. But let's show you how to do this without that investment. We're going to stay under $150 a month, and total investment, initial investment, $350. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, let me close that. Let me close off all my Podio that I have open. List source. Okay, so that's not what I need either. Okay, this is what I want. So you should have already joined that. So let's go ahead and close that off. The very first thing, REISift, go ahead and log out. You can go to reisift.io. You get a 7-day free trial. Scroll down to the bottom, $49 a month, sign up, yada, yada, yada. And then you'll go to the members, you'll log in. That's really straightforward, pretty simple. We're going to dig into that in a little bit. I'm actually going to go into our staging account, and we're going to upload a list and all that good stuff just to show you guys that initial thing, okay? So I'm going to close it out for now. So reisift.io, the link is in the description, 7-day free trial. There's that. Next thing, DealMachine, dealmachine.com/pricing, or click the link in the description below. I think I have a hyperlink to it that gives you like $10 of credits or something like that. So if you're going to send mail, I'm going to show you how to use this in your business the most effective way, at least for how I do it. That's $49 a month. I highly recommend it. I think that if you spend an hour a day or focus on adding at least 10 to 20 properties a day, and I'm going to show you another really awesome way to use DealMachine, you're totally going to be building an organic list within your business that is super, super effective and is actually a pretty essential part in this whole scheme that I got going on right here that we use in my business. Okay, so dealmachine.com/pricing, set up that account, go through the process, really easy, simple, download the app on your phone, and I have videos on that on this account somewhere, I think, for Driving for Dollars. If not, I'm actually creating a new one because someone requested it. So there's that. CallRail. CallRail, go to callrail.com/pricing, scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see the call tracking one here on the right, start free trial. I'm going to go ahead and end up logging into my account and show you guys how to do that. I think I've shown how to do this before, but create an account, and then I'm going to cover how to create a phone number for you. Okay, next is Yellow Letters HQ. What you're going to do is there's a link in the bio that you can click, or just go to yellowlettershq.com. If you do the link in the bios for any of these things, make sure you right click and say open a new tab so you don't leave the video. But then scroll down to the bottom, you're going to click on the bottom right here, Yellow Letter HQ Services, click on Shop Now. You're going to click on Lists and Leads Membership, and then you're going to choose the $97 a month one, cancel any time. You're going to choose a subscription, boom, and then go through that process. Make sure the email that you put in here is the email that you want to be on your listsource account. What's going to happen is they're going to end up emailing you within 24 hours your login information for your listsource account, because they got to set up the account for you underneath their master account, which gives you that 3 cents per record. Okay. Once all that's done, that should all take within 24 hours, should be good to go. Okay, what we're going to do next is we're going to go over to listsource, we're going to log in, and we're going to pull a list for a random county. So let me open that up. Let me get a drink of water because I'm trying to speed up so that you guys can just play, forward, back and forth and rewatch this whatever you need, but I don't want it to be stupid long. But I can talk fast, and I realize that. I apologize, but I don't really apologize because that's me. And I'm just me, okay? I'm not going to be like trying to be someone else that I'm not, okay, for the YouTubes. All right, anyway. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to log into listsource.com. I have a really awesome video on how to do listsource. I think everyone loves it, so you can check that out. However, we're gonna go ahead and pull a list right now, and it's really simple. I'm gonna create my own. I pull listsource list, probably the simplest out of anybody because of REISift. We make it like super awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with geography. I'm gonna go ahead and choose by county. I'm gonna choose Florida, and just out of curiosity, let's do Hillsborough. Add. And what we're gonna do after we add that, you're gonna see our total count is 397,000 people. That's pretty crazy. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull an absentee list right now. So we're gonna go over options. We're gonna leave everything no preference, including corporate owned properties. Do not exclude those. I promise you, please don't exclude those. Mailing address complete, no preference. Okay, I'm not crazy here. Just track with me. Okay, see how many properties that added? REISift is going to be the way that we kind of leverage that compared to everybody else that's not pulling it. Okay, trust me. Just trust me here. Absentee owned. We're just going to click absentee owned. We're going to include in-state and out-of-state because REISift can filter between those for us. We're just going to keep it super simple. So we just have one absentee list for our counties. And that's that. So options are done. What we're going to do now is we're going to switch over to mortgage, and we're going to do I got to find it. Mortgage term, mortgage date, loan to value, loan rate, equity loan. Maybe it's property. There we go. It's property, not mortgage. I'm dumb. Forget about me. Property, and then equity percentage. And then I like to do between 40 and 100%. Just me. Click OK. So 40 to 100% equity. So what that means is that they at least have paid off 40% of their loan, and they have 60% left on that loan at minimum. You're going to see that bring it down to 47,000 records. So now we have mortgage. We have, we have equity. We have the county. We have absentee. Next thing that we need is last market sale date. And in last market sale date, what we're going to do is we're going to switch this to 1900 and then 4 years back, so 2014, or 5 years back rather, so 2014. Why we do that is because we don't want anybody who purchased something, let's just say last year, but they put a really big down payment on it, because if we do that, then well, you're just going to be talking to people that literally just bought a property and they're all happy because they just paid like a nice down payment and all that kind of stuff, and we don't want that. So go ahead and click add, and that's going to narrow this down quite a bit more. About 20,000 people, and I'm fairly certain that that is everything that we need. You can do some demographics if you want. That's going to add even more to your pricing, because that demographics does not include the per 3 cents. I think it's an extra like cent or two for that. We don't care about mortgages, geography we got. That's pretty much everything. So what we would do now, make sure options are good, absentee owned. So remember, this is including our in-state and out-of-state. So if we wanted to just see out of curiosity right now how many in-state owners this is, we can uncheck that and just check. So it's about 7,000 out-of-state owners. So if you wanted to really focus on just out-of-state, you could do that, and you could just purchase that one list. But these 20,000 records are basically, or these 27,000 records, if I were to buy these, it would end up costing me right now, it would cost me 27,000 times 0.03. They would cost me $810, right? But we're only going to pull 2,500. So I just want to show you guys how to pull only the ones that you kind of want. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to save this criteria so you can just clone this for anything else that you're doing. We're just going to name this Hillsborough absentee. Click save. All right, and then we're going to say purchase list. And once we say purchase list, what we're going to do is we are going to say purchase partial list. And then we are going to say only 2,500 leads, or however many you want. And then you could also, in order to narrow this down even more, you could do a custom selection and then just base off of zip code and only purchase the highest zip codes. So we could just do this manually for now. But this goes into that whole 3V motivated seller framework. The value part of that is like, what do people want to buy, right? But what we can do is we could just select the properties with the highest count. So like this one with 1100, this one with 1103. We can kind of look at the average and the highest ones in here, and we could just select those. So I'm seeing the norm kind of being probably about 800 plus would probably be the mean. But you could add all these up. What I like to do is add all these up and then do the average between all of them. So let's say we added all this up and then did the average, and that equated to be 600. I would pull all the ones for 600 and more. What a lot of people do is they just do the top 3 zip codes, but I just do the average between them all and then pull every list that's above the average. And it just really depends on your budget and a few other things, but that's one way to do it that I like to do. So anyway, I could select those ones and say recalculate, and that's going to recalculate, the amount of records that I'm pulling, and that bring it down to $136. Or again, I could just say only 2,500, recalculate, and it's going to pull a random record for each of those. And then what I could do is I can name this list again, and then I could purchase it, and I'm going to spend $75, and it's going to go to my email. Do not click remove duplicate property mailing addresses. I know that goes against what a lot of people say, but I promise you it's important. Do not pull that. Okay, do not pull it with that selected. If I do select that, it might remove $2.50. $2.50 means that there is right around 200 properties, about 200 properties or so now. Not that much. I don't know. Whatever $2.50 is divided by 3 cents. It has to be somewhere around 200, I think. I don't know. I'm dumb. Don't worry about me. Okay, just don't do it. All right. Confirm checkout. Purchase the list, and then it's going to come to your mail. Or you can just click on purchase lists and then click on the download. Export here. Oh man, I had a bunch of stuff reset. Oh no, this is 6 pages. Oh my gosh. Okay, that scared me. So click on export it as a CSV document, and then you're going to upload it to REISift. All right, so we have our list now, and we are now going to open up REISift. We can cancel that or do whatever we're going to do there. We're going to open up REISift. First, we're going to log into my staging account so we can work on it in there. Someone hit me up on Facebook, so let me check to see what happened there. Let me close out My Hero Academia because I'm a nerd. Someone mentioned me in a thing, and then someone messaged me in a thing. Oh my goodness. A new Apex video someone tagged me in. Love it. Okay, so this is a landing page to REISift. This is dashboard, all the stuff that's coming soon, yada yada. We're going to go into records real quick, and I'm just going to delete out this account. Make sure everything's gone. So select all, and then delete, apply, confirm. It's going to delete all that out. And then we're going to go back to my lists here, and we're going to go ahead and delete out those lists that I had in here for testing and whatnot. All right, so we're good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and download one of my actual lists from my business. You guys are going to see into my Google Drive right now. Hopefully I don't have anything that's like not supposed to be seen. That's the wrong one. That is the wrong email. But this is pretty dope. We totally survived on Apex in the middle of the zone. I'm just saying, not related at all, but this is one of the most epic wins ever. All right, I digress. Get off there. Switch over to my actual company. Close out that one. Okay, so I totally think this is how you should have your Google Drive. You should have a marketing folder, dispositions, acquisitions, administration. I don't know of anybody that would actually show you their damn back end of their website or their company like this. But it just shows you that I am an active company. I am actually doing this shit. I don't just fake it. It would take a lot of time to reproduce all this. But anyway, we're going to go into my marketing, and then we're going to go into my lists, and then we're going to go into my Okaloosa County, and then we're going to go into 2019, and we are going to pull out, let's just say, my absentee in-state owner. Okay, so this is what it'll look like when it comes from listsource. It will have owner label name, it'll have owner last name, first name, yada yada yada. This owner label name is equivalent to your full name column and your trust column and so on. So that's very important. If you have any other lists that you are pulling, make sure you create a full name column that you put the full names of people in, the company names like LLCs. Remember, those are important. We're gonna show you why they're important here in a minute. And then what I used to do is we used to break apart all that data that's clean, and we used to put it in this one, and we used to have an incomplete list, and then my VA would slowly go in here and complete this data. Our companies and trusts would all get separated, then we'd skip trace it, and then we'd separate it with numbers and no numbers so that we can upload it. It was a pain in the ass. It was all over the place. REISift does all that automatically now when you upload it, so it's one of the most beautiful things about it. So we're going to go ahead and download, separated sheet. And then I'm going to go over to REISift, and I am going to click on the Upload tab, and I am going to drag and drop this in here. Remember, this is an absentee in-state owner. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and download an absentee out-of-state one as well, because I'm just going to combine those into one list with REISift and just call it straight absentee so that it can be representative to what I just showed you how to download. Because I pulled these 6 months ago. At that time, we were pulling them separately between out-of-state and in-state. Since then, in other counties, we've just pulled absentee as one list. So we're going to do absentee out-of-state real quick and download that as well. I'll go ahead and wait until after I finish mapping this one real quick. So in REISift, it'll automatically map your data for you from what we can find and tell. Remember, I did not skip trace this at all. This is right from listsource. We're going to drag this owner label name, and we're going to map it to this full name column because, as you can see, well, I guess there's none in the example data there, but there's LLCs and trusts in there, as we've seen when I had it open over here. And we want to filter out those LLCs and trusts so that we can, really use them effectively. So I'm going to click Continue. I'm going to name this absentee. I'm going to say Create Absentee List name, and then I'm going to just import in a append data. Basically what that does is it appends any new data to any uploaded CSV, to any matching records that are inside there. We deleted everything out. I could also likewise use only import new addresses, but this kind of functions the same way since there's no existing data in there, so I'm just going to use that. Not to confuse you. So we're going to click Save, and what that's going to do is that's going to start uploading that. If I click on List right now, you're going to see that there's an absentee list in here now, and those records are going to be uploading into my account. So we're going to go ahead and download this absentee out-of-state list so that we can combine these two together as one absentee list, because that's how I showed you to pull it. So just bear with me, whatever that means. We're going to upload that, again, mapping the owner label name over, everything else auto-mapped because we have that feature. Not everything will auto map. If you have some really weird column headers, it might not work like that. We might have to drag and drop and do some fancy stuff, but we're going to go ahead and click Continue, and we're going to again just choose the same list, even though these are two separate lists, because REISift says, okay, that's an absentee list. We're telling REISift that this data just belongs to an absentee list. Okay, so we're associating every one of these property records now with absentee so that we can sort by that data. Again, we're going to import and update existing data, or import and append data, click Save, and now what you'll notice is that there's not going to be a totally separate list in here. It's just still going to be the absentee list, and that data is currently uploading. It'll probably just skip and say it's all uploaded at one time. We do a batch 100 records upload at a time, so that's going to happen. You can see there's a lot of different columns down here. So let's give that a second. While that's doing its thing, let's go ahead and switch over to CallRail, and I'm going to go ahead and try and sign into my test account that I created previously for other trainings. Oh, my free trial expired. Well, I'm not paying for another account, so we're just going to go back and we're gonna sign into, oh man, don't spam my email, folks. Okay, we're gonna go into here, and also don't spam my tracking numbers. We're just gonna say, man, here, I'm gonna go over here real quick. I don't want all my tracking numbers to be out there. Here we go. I'm just gonna click into another company. I'm gonna click into REISift, because you can have multiple companies in here. Oops, right here. See? I'm in REISift's one. It's just a test one. I've got to sneeze. And I'm back. That one kind of hurt a little bit. Okay, so it's getting super hot in this room. I'm getting red. We're freaking doing this shit for real. It's like 12 o'clock right now at night, in the morning. All right. So what we're going to do is create a number real quick, just for example cases, so that I can show you the lead center and how to do like some freaking calls for reals though. All right, so we're going to do it for offline, and we're going to call this absentee. Okay, we're just going to name it the same name. We're going to forward. Let me pull it over here real quick so that I can put in like a random number. Like 779-8182. I have no idea if that's a real number or not a real number. I just want to make sure it works. Cool, it does. All right, so I put in a number. I click next. I just didn't want my autofill for my personal number to show up in there. 850-404-1405. Sure. I got the hiccups now. Whatever. Numbers, next feature, activate tracking number. And then we're going to click done. In another video, I'm going to show you how to set up call flows, and I'm going to show you guys my exact call flows I use in my business. So we have an absentee number now. We're going to go ahead and just leave this forwarded. The forwarding number you would want to put to your phone. Later, watch the next video that I'm going to be doing for CallRail call flows. You're going to want to associate that with a call flow. You can set up IVRs in CallRail. You can set up, call flows with it. Very important to have it on a call flow so that you can have all your stuff standardized across all your numbers. Like I have like 60 tracking numbers right now in my business, and we just deleted out like 30 of them because every 90 days we delete out our previous direct mail campaign numbers and cold call ones. So anyway, that's that. That's how you create a number. Okay, so if I were to dial this right now, I would end up calling this, and I would end up forwarding to this person. I have no idea who this is. So what we can do now is we can click on Lead Center in the bottom left corner, and you might have to pay extra for Lead Center. I've had CallRail for a long time, since it was like $25 a month. It's now $49 a month and $3 a number. It's only $1 a number for me. So it's a little bit more expensive now. However, this is what it is. So right now, if you go into calls, you can click this little button here, and you can literally dial out, choose the caller ID you want to use. In this case, you'd want to use the caller ID for absentee. You want to dial the number that you have for somebody, and then you are going to either connect it to your phone, which would basically, if you choose connect to phone, oh, well, there you go. You guys got my personal number anyway. You guys can connect it and click begin call, and it would actually dial to your phone. You would answer it and be like, hey, press 1 to connect to, the other phone. And you'd be like, hello. And yeah, then you talk to him and say, hey, I want to buy your house. Pretty straightforward stuff. I think you guys can figure that out. If not, I'm sorry. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so click that off. You can do the same thing with text messages. Click this here, and then choose the caller ID, and then be like, whatever phone number, and then send a text message. Boom, bang, simple, easy. Download also the CallRail app. Make sure you choose to show notifications in the settings on it. That's CallRail. We're going to use this more in a second, okay? I'm just trying to get through some of this. I have a feeling it'd be smarter to do with part 2 on this, but we're just going to keep rocking. If whoever, the real person who watches this from start to finish is the real OG, okay? They're the person that really cares about their business. I'll tell you what. All right, so we're going to scroll down. We're going to check, see if our stuff's uploaded. Okay, so we have 1,600 records now in absentee. That's probably all of them. I can check my email real quick and see if it says that I am officially uploaded all my data. So let's show you that. Let me switch over to my REISift email here. Boom. Okay, so you'll see, if I don't know if you can see that or not, it says list clearing complete. Probably can't see that, whatever, but it says list clearing complete. We just finished your list, named this. It has been attached to your absentee list. So there we go. We got absentee records in there. Click over to records, and what you're gonna see is that you have quick filters here. These quick filters are telling you to filter by the type of data you wanna view. As you can see here, this one doesn't have a first name or last name, so that is obviously bad. So we just want to filter by only our clean data. All our clean data is data that was address normalized successfully, it's been vacancy checked, it's got a full first name and last name, and you can see we have 146 pages at 10 records per page, so about 1,460. If I click on incomplete, you're going to say I got about 60 records that were incomplete. If I click on trusts, you'll see I got about 20 trusts in there. Click on company, I got about 80 companies. Okay, I'm going to show you why this is important, okay? The clean data is the only data that you want to skip trace. So you would select all these records, and you would want to export this for skip tracing. And when you do that, you'd re-upload that list with the phone numbers, name it absentee again, and attach all those phone numbers in there if you do decide to do that. And I have other videos on how to export data in my account, in my YouTube channel. However, we're going to show you how to do this without doing that. Okay, we're going to focus on a really specific person, and we're going to analyze them. I'm going to show you how to contact them. You can contact them for real if you really want to, whatever. But first, what I want to show you is why it's important to pull companies. I'm going to switch over to companies real quick. I'm going to look at click on the drop down for advanced filters. I'm just going to do vacant property, yes. There is 4 properties here that are from a company that are vacant properties. I don't care if it's a company or not. They're not a very good company if they got a vacant property. I still keep looking at my other screen here for some reason. So I do apologize. I'm not trying to be rude. All right. So anyway, yeah, they're obviously not a very good company. This is an out-of-state company in Gulf Shore Drive. SAP Investments LLC. The property is vacant. I'm super curious about that. I want to know what's going on. So I would want to research them. I would have my LLC, go to SAP Investments LLC, or my LLC, my VA, go to Open Corporates, search that LLC, just to show you guys another tidbit of information here. Search it, find who the owner is, SAP Florida, SAP Investments LLC, Arizona is the one I would want, but potentially that's also them. And we got 1, 2 in the original, so something's going on there. Who knows what's going on there? But Arkansas, Arizona, it's one of these. I imagine they're all the same person. This one's Washington. I'm conflicted. I don't know. You choose one of these, and then you get the owner. There's a lot of owners in there, and you populate their information in here. You edit the record, get their first name, last name, update their mailing address accordingly. And then go from there. But anyway, we're going to go over and we're going to focus on clean data now. So the very first thing I want to show you is how to filter by list. So you click on lists, click on the list you want to see. We only have one list in here, so it doesn't really matter. And close that out. Now, I want to see just the out-of-state people. So boom, out-of-state, absentee, out-of-state, 590 people of clean data. Incomplete data, I got another 20. So maybe I go through and I complete this incomplete data, okay, for these absentee guys, because the absentee out of state, because obviously, these people are probably a little bit more motivated, especially if the property is vacant and out of state, which doesn't exist on incomplete data, but it does exist in clean data, right? So 30 people are out of state and have a vacant property. What about if their mailing address is vacant? I don't have any there, but what about in-state? Don't have any there. Okay, so in this case, there is no vacant mailing or vacant property. In my account, I'll show you my personal account, I got a few of those. Those get added into our hot list, because why is their mailing address and their property address vacant? That must mean something. And I want to be the person to figure it out. And this is like some golden shit right here. Some golden shit. So if you're not watching this right now and you left earlier, whoever is still watching this, I promise you they're going to be farther in their business than you are. Just saying. Like, this is for real. This is like real shit. And you can click on all data when you're testing that kind of stuff out, like out of state, vacant mailing, yes. So this is interesting. It's an out of state owner and the mailing address is vacant, but the property address is not vacant. So that's another interesting thing. Okay, so are they here being snowbirds or what's going on there? So I would, potentially reach out to them in a specific way. Okay, so this is, essentially what REISift does, right? You're able to filter in, manage all your data in one place, clean it up, and save money on skip tracing. But what we're going to do real quick is we're going to upload my DealMachine list, okay? Because I want to show you how you can use the DealMachine to really leverage this in order to create a really niche list to call on because you have that visual identifier of this property super messed up, right? You might not mail it or skip trace or anything through DealMachine, but you just pay for the subscription just to have that convenience of being able to easily add properties while you're driving around to a list. You could equally just manually write down the address and then add record and just manually add it, but that takes some time. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over to DealMachine real quick. We're going to add this in here. I don't even know how far we are right now in time, but I guarantee that this thing's going to be like an hour long. I might have to split it in two. We'll see. All right, so we're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go to scroll down, and then export all deals, and that's going to export a list. And we have like 1,500, I think, or so in here, so it's going to take a second. So there it is. We're going to go back to REISift. We're going to go back to upload, and we're going to upload that list that I just exported from DealMachine. I'm going to do a totally separate video just for this. Now, we're going to have to map these over because it exports a little funky from DealMachine. So we're going to map first name and last name, and then we're going to map owner name to the full name column because we can see in the example data that that's their full name. That's also going to break apart those companies and stuff. Property address, we don't want that one because that's the full address. We just want property address 1, which is just the street address, right? And then we need the mailing address. So we're going to do owner address city. And sometimes DealMachine will put a full address, like the full property address, inside the street address column. You're just going to have to fix that once it's uploaded. So we map those, and then any phone numbers should have automatically mapped for us. So we're good there. My nose is itchy. So we should be good to go. I don't think there's anything else we want to map over. We could map over, something into the notes column if we really wanted to. That might be useful to us, like a lender or something. Who knows? But anyway, we're going to click continue. We're going to say DealMachine, or you could say driving for dollars, whatever you want to say, and click on create, and then import and append, and then click save. And what this is going to do is it's going to go through and it's going to look to see what other properties do I have in here that are also on my DealMachine list. And if we click over to our list now, you see we have an absentee list and we have a DealMachine list. And it's going to look and it's going to be merging all of these into one master list. So if it's on the absentee list and on the DealMachine list, it's not going to create two records of the same. In fact, if there's multiple of the same properties inside my absentee list, same property addresses, it's going to not upload both of those. It's also removing duplicates at the same time. So it's super powerful in order for you to save in marketing dollars, but even more powerful in order for you to be like, okay, visual identifier, that property looked distressed, that's why it was added to DealMachine. Okay, an absentee high equity list, I want to see who's on both of those, and also the property is actually vacant. And then if I send it for skip tracing and I actually have their phone numbers, I can filter by with phone numbers and be like, holy this shit's getting real. But we're going to show you how to filter down, do this manually, so because we want to stay under $150 a month. But we got to get that DealMachine list uploaded. For now, let's do a summary. We got DealMachine. We're paying $49 a month for that just to drive around and easily add properties in here. Initially, if we wanted to use that to send single postcards after we find out if they're actually don't have a vacant mailing address, sweet, we can do that. We purchase our list from listsource on an absentee list. We uploaded it to a Google Drive that's under a lists and marketing folder, so we still stay organized on our original lists. We got our REISift account that we uploaded that absentee list to, and then we're uploading our DealMachine list to, and other lists that we get that we're cleaning up. I have other videos on that. And now it looks like our DealMachine list is finished. We got 999 records in here. Now, it's not meaning that it uploaded 1,606 and 999 because there could be duplicates across these. And we're about to check. We're going to click on our records. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stack this. We're going to click on this list here, and we're going to see how many are on both lists. And boom, there we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 properties that are on multiple lists. If we click on incomplete data, this is why it's so important to separate this data out, because we can see that, okay, that one's not there. But what about trusts? Nope. Okay, companies. Boom, we got 2 properties that are on RF Thomas LLC. He's on our DealMachine and absentee, and the property is vacant. I'm going to look up that LLC, right? That's important. That's why you buy company data with your list. It's not that much more expensive. It's worth it. So I would fix those records. Let's just say, for example, for the sake of this, that the owner of this one was Jimmy John. Save that. Boom, that's going to go over. Edit this one. Edit Joe Jimmy. Joe Jim. We'll just do that. Save that. Boom. That's moving from our company now to our clean data. Now I can stack that up. I can see, okay, cool. I have this many records, 6 records, that are on both of those lists. And this increases. Okay, but what about vacant now? Boom. 2 of them are also vacant. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on these ones real quick, right? What about mailing address vacant? Boom. Look at that. Property's vacant and the mailing address is vacant. Look at how many we have now. And these are probably all on our DealMachine list. So if we filter by just DealMachine, boom. We just found, out of those DealMachine records, we just found a bunch of records that are both vacant. Now, because the DealMachine list also has owner occupied, we can switch absentee to yes just to verify. And now we end up only having 3 records that have, and this is a PO box, so that doesn't count, but boom, right here. These are vacant. So technically this is a 3 stack. We got vacant mailing, vacant property, it's absentee, and so we got 2 vacant properties there. So where are they living then? How do we reach out to this person? Let's go ahead and focus on one of these ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to truepeoplesearch.com, and I'm going to do a reverse address search on the mailing address and the property address. We're just going to try and find this Gregory Boswell guy. So let me, I'm going to have to type it in. So we'll do reverse address. What was that address? It was 1163 Laguna Lane, 1163 Laguna Lane in, I spelled Pensacola wrong. Search. Didn't find anything there. I spelled Laguna wrong. L-A-G. Oh, it's in Gulf Breeze. Gregory Boswell right there. But this was the last person they think that lived there. So maybe there was a tenant in there, right? But we know this is probably the owner. We could verify by checking the county records site to see if he still is the owner for sure. If he is, then I know these are probably tenants or someone who had a long-term, rental there or something like that. But this is the guy, so boom, Gregory Boswell. There's his current mailing address. Notice that it's separate than this. Okay, important. And boom, there's some numbers. So I'm going to start with all these. I'm going to copy these over and I'm going to paste them. I'm going to edit this record. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this right here. And I'm going to say owner info and put that link there. So I'm saving that. And then I'm going to copy those phone numbers over. I'm going to paste them in here. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to what I call the do not give up list, or even more preferred, the go no go list, meaning I'm going to do whatever I need to do and create and reach out to this person, right? So I'm going to use this to track him, almost kind of like a prospect CRM, not like Podio, but prospects are different than leads. Prospects are people who you're reaching out to prospect to become a lead. They're totally separate. So when you hear people say, oh, I'm gonna give you free leads, no, you're not. You're probably gonna give me a free, list of prospects, which is obviously a lot less valuable than a list of free leads. A lead would be like Gregory said, he wants to sell his property and you referred it over to me, and that's not a lead, that's a referral. Well, it's technically a lead, but it's a referral. It's different. Now, if someone said, hey, I'm going to give you, 100 referrals that are leads, I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Are we going to JV on these or what? Different. Just remember, all right? And we're going to save that. And what we could also do is we could upload that mailing address if we really wanted to. If we were going to skip trace this, we'd want that most accurate mailing address. And what we would do is we would search this current address inside of the Oculus, or not the Oculus, but in this case, the Santa Rosa property record site to see if he actually is currently homesteading at that address. And if he is, freaking rocking. We know we can at minimum drive and knock on his door. Okay. So what if we want to call him? Again, you're going to open up CallRail. And you are going to go into, you're going to sign in. You're going to go to the lead center. You're about to see a bunch of my previous calls and stuff. So I'm going to switch over to the company I need. Okay. So you're going to click here and I'm going to be like, okay, let's see. First number. Boom. Copy, paste, caller ID, and then boom, begin call. And it's going to start dialing that number right now from my computer. As long as I got a microphone set up and everything, boom, and start dialing. I'm going to talk to him. While I'm talking to him, man, I could open up here and I could open up his record and I could start, typing in some notes here so I don't lose it. And then if he says yes, boom, I'm going to add him as a lead in Podio. Right? And I could even create, if I really wanted to, I could use this kind of like the track and say like add to Podio. And I could create, a list called add to Podio. So I could later, after I'm done prospecting and trying to reach out to people that from these niche lists, I know, okay, these were leads. I got to add them into Podio, set up, whatever I'm going to do there. Now, whenever you add a list down here, what's going to happen is it's actually going to create a new list inside your account, right? So, you notice, like, obviously we just pulled one really motivated, potentially motivated person, a really good prospect out of these, people. And you see we actually have another, 700 people that were added from DealMachine. So we probably even have even more stacked properties right now. If we go to our clean data and we stack it up, we probably have even more. Now we got a couple more. But what I could do is I could filter by that DNG list or like go, no-go list, and boom, there's that guy again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter down my data like absentee out of state, vacant property, yes. And I'm going to start going through and finding motivation. I'm going to stack these up and I'll be like, okay, cool. Those ones, I got 60 people right here that are vacant out of state properties. What about vacant mailing addresses? Yes. Okay, I don't have any. What about vacant mailing addresses? No. Again, another 60. So that's good. That means I can mail these people and I'd have success. But that's not where I'd focus all my energy right away because I don't have phone numbers for them. And that's 60 people. However, I could export this one if I wanted to and skip trace these ones. Instead of skip tracing everybody, I'm just going to skip trace everybody who's absentee and is a vacant property, which in my case, absentee and vacant is 1,550 people. And 2 of those are stacked. So these 2, I would in fact edit these records, add these to the go, no-go list. That way they stack again, and I could always filter by that, and I know that I need to reach out to them. Why is that marked as opt-out? That's interesting. Let's see what's going on there. Opt out, yes. 20 records that are opted out for some reason. I'm not sure why they're opted out, but they are. So what we're going to do is now we can just filter by that go, no-go list, and boom, again, there's 2 of them there that are added. I can edit this one, and I could search this person again. I can remove that opt-out. I don't know why they're opted out. Okay. I can search these individuals, again, find their information through True People Search, text them, call them, whatever, okay? And then if my budget permits, I can go ahead and export all these people, skip trace them, re-upload them, and then I can always just filter by with phone numbers, yes. Okay, and now we're really using it to create really awesome campaigns for ourselves. Especially the vacant properties, all right? That's where you want to focus most of your energy. If I wanted to just see all the properties that are on 2 or more lists, there we go. 2 or more stack, and then I could reach out to just these people. I promise you there's a deal on one of these. Like I can almost guarantee that if you were to reach out and say, I'm going to reach out and get a yes or no from each of these people, one of these people are going to be interested in an offer. I can almost guarantee it. In fact, I know that multiple of these are inside of our Podio. I know the Griffith, Julia Fletcher is. I know the Cedar Avenue one, Jimmy John is, who's not actually Jimmy John, but in my actual Podio account, or my account, my actual REISift account, it was updated. So just the biggest part of this is this one right here. Hustling your ass off, right? That's the biggest thing. That's where everybody doesn't follow through on. It's easy to spend $150 a month. It's easy to spend $350 to get started. It is not easy to have the diligence and the grit to just dig in and not have that mentality where I was like, oh, I reached out to 10 people. Oh, I did so good for myself today. Pat myself on the back. No, fuck that. Why didn't you reach out to 50? Create a KPI for yourself. Reach out to at least 30 people a day. Dial at least 100 dials. It's totally doable, okay? It just depends on your work and all that kind of stuff. But don't make any excuses for yourself why you can't do it. Because once you get that first deal, that second deal, that third deal, you're going to be like, holy shit. I've closed 3 deals and I've made more, potentially some people, more in one deal than I did my whole year. 3 deals, 4 deals, 5 deals, and now doing multiple 6 figures, and you're like, holy crap. Obviously, taxes and all the other junk is going to eat some of that up, but get into that later. Filter by your companies, and make sure that you continually add into those and pull those over into your clean data. And then most importantly, the property owners. Your property owners is super, super valuable. I just filtered and stacked that, and I can click on this actions here, and I can see all of the records that this Carl Shurlis guy owns inside of my account. Why is that important? Because I can see what list they're from. Okay, I can see, okay, he's on a DealMachine list. I can view this property and see, is it vacant? No, okay, cool. Go back, view this property. Is it vacant? Okay, cool. This guy looks like he's really interested in this area of Pensacola. What am I going to do? I'm going to call him and I'm going to see, is he interested in buying more properties? About this person, same thing, Pensacola. I'm going to try and call him. See, are you interested in buying more properties? I'm going to build a buyer's list now. I bought one list and I've created all these other lists from it. And now I'm also going to be able to find people with motivation. If I click through some of these, there's bound to be somebody who has a property that has multiple properties that are on multiple lists. You know what I mean? So if I were to keep clicking through these, one of these people are going to end up having, I know that could be like kind of hard on your eyes, but what you're doing is you're looking for the guy who has multiple properties that are on 2 or more lists, like the absentee and the DealMachine. And right now it's not in here, but we will have the ability for you to filter this list just like you do every other property record. Okay. So if I click back to property records here, I can continue to go through and dig through and just find motivated people. And there's so much more being added to, like the ability to select all records and send these over to a cold calling campaign. You can export these, you can add them to other lists, you can remove them from a list, you can delete them all, you can suppress them by adding them to the opt-out or your do not call list. And there's going to be a lot of automations in place to really make this a lot easier for you. But you really don't have to worry about that right now, because remember, we're freaking laser focused right now on contacting these people that fit specific criteria. And I promise you, in 1 month, if you're super diligent in doing what I just taught you, you will get a deal. I promise you. I'm gonna switch over to my actual staging account, or my actual account. I'm gonna show you guys. Like, I use this in my business daily. And we're gonna click on records, and then we're going to just give an example of absentee, out of state, vacant mailing, yes, vacant property, yes, clean data, and that's gonna do its thing. And boom, boom, four right there that are vacant, out of state, and mailing address and property address. Technically, that's a 3 stack, because vacant property, vacant mailing, and then I'm guessing these are tax delinquent, absentee Bay County, equity, basically. And I could click on my, I could reset this, and I could click on my company data and my trust, and you can see, like, weekly, we're weekly uploading data in here, and weekly we're getting, look at this, these companies, triple stack companies. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. Do not sleep on companies, I'm telling you. Click on property owners, and you guys can, I don't care what you do with this data, use it as you want. I don't really care. I'm just telling you that this is like important stuff. You know, find mega buyers. Some of my buddies, man, they have ones where there's like people that own 100 freaking properties. You know, if you don't at least call him to ask him if he can sit down and invite him to lunch, you know what I mean? You're totally in the wrong business if you ain't willing to do that. I promise you. So this is just one of the ways you can do that. So let's break this down a little bit, recover it. What you're doing is you're getting some data from Yellow Letters HQ. I just showed you guys, even inside of my staging account. Let's switch back over to my staging account real quick. People pay for just a vacant list alone, right? And it's one of the biggest lists that people have in their business is vacancy lists. You can ask any big wholesaler out there. Vacancy is a big list for them. If I filter by just vacant property, I uploaded 2 lists in here. That's 220 properties that are vacant. Obviously, if they're on 2 or more lists, that makes it really nice, because that means that that they have equity and something else. Or if I only uploaded an equity list, I know at least that there's equity in all these properties. But if they have equity and they're on something else like this DealMachine, I know that it's at least ugly and it's got equity or whatever, right? But at minimum, you want to do something. If you want to mail this list, if you have the budget to do that, do vacant mailing no. So you know there's no vacant mailing address. That leaves me with only 180 properties. Mail these. You're not going to get return mail because the property mailing address isn't vacant, right? That's really important. So mail all those, and then export all of them, period, all the vacant properties, skip trace them, and then re-upload them, and then just manually dial all those. If you focus and you have a do not give up, a go, no-go mentality with those 220 properties alone, I promise you there's deals in there. I freaking promise you. Just please don't give up on it, though. That's the most important thing, because, I mean, like 220 people that are vacant and they're on equity. You got 2 lists right there that people focus on really heavily in their big businesses. If you just niche down for $150 a month, and your time, you could make, if you just did 10 of those properties a year at $10K a piece, you can live comfortably and focus on 1 deal a month. And let's just say you do 1 deal a month, that's an extra $120,000 a year at a minimum of $10,000 wholesale fee. Man, dude, vacant properties are going to continue to pop up as you update your data. You know, every month we're rechecking for vacancy. You get a tax delinquent list and you clean that up because you have so much free time, because you're only focusing on doing 1 deal a month, because you're not trying to build this big business. You're just trying to do 6 figures a year and be free from everything else. Pick up a few properties for your rental portfolio, you know, retire. I'm telling you, man, just don't give up on it. All right, that's 220 properties right there. All right, so you're going to buy that list, $75 for 2,500 records. Buy as many as you can, whatever you can afford. Just come up with a budget for yourself. This is just a scenario that I'm giving because I know most people can afford $150 a month if they just don't go out drinking for 1 weekend a month. You know what I mean? Subscriptions. Have a CallRail account to create that number, that separation between you and the business, you know, because you are cold calling. That DealMachine account, fucking, it's massive. It organically built 17 or or 2,000 properties, 2,000 lists. Instead of spending $75, I have people out there, adding properties in the DealMachine consistently so that we can add it in there and have that as a visual list. It's our visual list. It's our ugly eyes list, whatever you want to call it. Vacancy list from REISift costs you nothing other than obviously the subscription and everything else that comes with it. You get an onboarding with me. I talk about your business. You ask me questions. You become part of my family. Being an REISift member, part of our customer success team. That's freaking invaluable, right? But anyway, vacancy is huge. Total list purchase, you're going to look at like $172. Your first month investment is about $322. So under $350, you can get started in real estate, and then $150 a month, as long as you hustle your ass off. Additional options, call tools for $120 a month. If you realize that you are doing this and you're hustling your ass off for those first few weeks, I highly recommend you go ahead and invest into yourself that $120 a month. I got videos on how to use call tools. It will save a lot of time, and you can use it really effectively. And we are implementing an integration with call tools and REISift to just automatically send people over from one to the other, and that gives you the ability to grow, hire a cold caller, so that while you're at work on your W-2, leads are still being generated. I have videos on how to do that. I'm tired. That was a lot. Since I last checked, that's been 30 minutes. This is gonna be like an hour and a half video. I don't even know if I can upload this to YouTube. Might have to split this in half. But I literally just taught you guys. If you guys freaking left, man, if you guys didn't at least pause this and just come back and slowly eat at it, I just taught you exactly one of the methods that we use in our business to generate multiple six figures in our business alone. This one thing. We have a guy who's strictly focused and dedicated to just doing this in our business. It's for $150 a month. If you can't do that and you can't do this, bro, you ain't cut out for it. And go back to, not saying it's bad to flip burgers, but go back to flipping burgers. That's probably what you should be doing. Because if you don't care enough about yourself to invest in yourself and build out a system like this, whether it's using REISift or something else, man, you're not there yet. Give yourself a couple more years, and maybe enough life situations will come in front of you to where you say, fuck this, I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna hustle my ass off. Just click on the help center. There's videos in there. There's videos on my YouTube. You can message me here all the time. Contact me. Set up a demo. Go over your business. And remember, for under $150 a month and under $350 to get started, where else can you spend $350 and then have the opportunity to make thousands of dollars in 1 month if you just put your heart and soul into it? I think that's everything that I really wanted to cover. It's a lot. I thank you guys so much if you're all the way through this. Like, seriously, if this was valuable to you, I really hope it was. I mean, I have to wake up in the morning, for my own business. It's 12:42 right now. There's a lot of people messaging on Facebook saying this, that, and the other about where do I buy leads? You don't buy leads, you buy prospects. How do I get started? And this is so expensive. No, it's not. You're making it expensive. There's shit out there, there's systems out there to make this easy for you. I've spent so much money building REISift, not for other people. I was building it for my own business. And then other people got attracted to it. So it's out there for $49 a month for up to 50,000 records. People making money from it every day. It's remarkable. DealMachine, David Lecko, freaking genius. Creating the ability for you to just to add properties. You could literally not even you could literally just stack up a list and then use your DealMachine account to start sending a postcard just from sitting here on a Google Street View, by just having DealMachine open at the same time. There's so many things you could do. Just focus on one of them. Focus on what I just taught you, and focus on it hard and just work at it. I promise you. There's a deal there. But anyway, I digress. If this was valuable to you, please hit the subscribe button. Share this video. Somebody else needs this video too. So share it in the groups. Share it wherever you can. Ask me questions in the comments below. look at the Podio video on how to set up Podio for beginners. That's pretty much all I got. I'm freaking tired. I still got to watch an episode of My Hero Academia before I go to bed because it's out. And I stopped watching the new episode just to do this. I've been waiting for like 6 months for this to come out. Thank you so much, guys. I love each and every one of you guys. I love every one of the subscribers in this account. You guys, it might only be about 1,100 of you. But you guys have believed in me from the beginning, especially when I first started building the REISift. It means a lot to me. So please, if it was helpful, hit the thumbs up, comment below, ask me questions, whatever. What other videos you want me to do? Oh, this is really at the end of this. So this is only going to be for the people that actually watch to the very end. If you comment below with the most valuable thing that you learned inside of this video, and you share this, and you take a screenshot, and you show me that you shared it, and then follow me on Instagram at Tyler Austin Original. So follow me on Instagram, comment below with what helped you out the most, and then also share this video on your Facebook page, and then maybe to like one other group. Yeah, so 4 things. If you do 4 things, I will buy and set you up for your first month. Okay? So I will set you up for your first month. We will create your accounts together. You'll get on a call together. We'll create everything. We'll get you the logins, and we'll get you going. Okay? REISift would be like a 30-day free trial basically. Do that. Okay? If that doesn't entice you, I don't know what does. Literally, you could start your business making multiple 6 figures for free. So thank you guys so much again. I'm tired. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Thank you again. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Peace out.